Sam from SW Global Publishing. Happy New Year to you. I hope that this year is going to be the year that you start writing or the year that you finish your book. I wanted to chat to you about a question that's popped up recently. I've had a couple of my clients asking me, how do I start or where do I start writing? They're getting stuck on that very first chapter, on that very first page. And there are a couple of tricks that you can use, but 3 I'd like to share with you today are quite powerful, and they can really get you going once you start. So I want to share those 3 tips with you this afternoon. So the first one is start with a really exciting first sentence. A sentence that's going to startle the reader, something that's going to make them almost go, oh my gosh, what? And really grab their attention. So if you are setting a scene, or you are introducing a new character, or if you're just deciding to talk about a memory that you would like to start that particular chapter with, or the first chapter with, use a really catchy first sentence that's going to really pull that reader into the book and get them hooked from the word go. So the second thing that I'd like to give you in terms of a tip is create intrigue about a character. One sentence to start off that first chapter, such as she was from out of this world, for example, or possibly something like she had never seen someone quite like him before. So again, creating that intrigue in the first chapter, in the first few lines of the book, in the very first line of the book, is to actually create interest and intrigue and almost a little bit of mystery about the character that you want to talk about. So that's another really good tip. In terms of setting the scene, I would suggest popping that right in the beginning of your first chapter, possibly the first line, the first sentence. Also a great idea to start with something like, possibly it was an incredibly cold night. I had never experienced cold that shivered through my bones the way that this night had, or something like that, where your reader is brought into the actual story straight away. They're in the scene, they can feel it, and it's almost like a cliffhanger sentence because they want to know what's coming next. So starting writing your first book, you want to start with that first chapter, that first sentence, create intrigue, introduce the character, introduce the scene, and use those first words to really bring your reader in. Use words that are going to keep them hanging on and wanting to read that book, or at least get them through that first chapter so that they can see what you're all about and how amazing your story is. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you have any other tips that you can share with me and that we can share with our readers? I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great week.